So this is a clip. This is after the second debate. This is Chris Matthews. Obviously, I think I got these from Twitter. Someone caught this off a cell phone. But Chris Matthews decided to do his. Did I show you these videos?
Yeah, yeah, I saw these.
But Chris Matthews, I showed you them for sure. You saw him stuff. Decides to do his best Sean Hannity. Like what's honest? Well, watch this. So this is Chris Matthews is one of those guys. We can't get Medicare for all. We can't do it. Or like when Axelrod goes on CNN and he's like, we can't. We're just not going to get that Medicare for all bill done. It's just not going to happen. He doesn't say why. They never say why it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because, let's face it, everybody in this government is bought by big pharma and health insurance companies, and that's why it's not going to happen. That's why it's not going to happen, not because the people don't want it. It's not going to happen because there isn't a will. There's no political will because the people who pull the strings are the money people and everybody's corrupted. They never explain why. They go, well, come on, be a grown-up. Grown-ups know how corrupt the government is. That's what people mean when they say you can't have that stuff. The only reason we can't have healthcare like the rest of the goddamn Western world is because of corruption in our government. The reason why we don't have a functioning banking system is because Barack Obama was paid off by the fucking banks. That's why. Okay, and that's not me. That's Dylan Radigan saying that. An award-winning financial reporter. Which is why he has to do his news reports from a park. Okay, here we go.
Everybody was talking tonight about Medicare for all, or let's call it government-run healthcare.
To quote, let's call it government-run healthcare because that's scarier. And I like to quote my Fox News compatriots.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Let's just. Watch this. Well, it's as if he's doing this interview. It's as if Beto is doing this interview on Fox News. Watch this.
Everybody was talking tonight about Medicare for all, or let's call it government-run healthcare. Right now, if you work, everybody here works, everybody pays Medicare in this room, everybody pays a percentage of their pay until they're 65, and then they get something if they survive, okay? Medicare for all means your whole life you get, according to Bernie, glasses, dentistry, everything free, paid for by the government.
The shit that the rest of the westernized world takes for granted. It's some kind of crazy radical idea to this guy.
Yeah. And he's making it out like it sounds terrible. Oh, you get all this stuff. You go to the doctor if you're sick, no matter how old you are. You can just go and then you get better. You can go to the dentist like every year or something. It's like this is a first world country or something. Right? Crazy, right, Beto? Like, I don't know. What am I supposed to say? I have no opinions.
This is kind of that's why I'm showing this. It's truly remarkable. Like, you're gonna get everything. You get no matter what's wrong with you physically, they're gonna take care of it. What? You're supposed to walk around with some open wounds, aren't you? Are you supposed to have bad vision and rotten teeth?
Or at least you wait a couple months.
Yeah.
What's going on?
We're just gonna. Let's listen to that again because that is remarkable.
Everybody was talking tonight about Medicare for all, or let's call it government-run healthcare. Right now, if you work, everybody here works, everybody pays Medicare in this room, everybody pays a percentage of their pay until they're 65, and then they get something if they survive, okay? Medicare for all means your whole life you get, according to Bernie, glasses, dentistry, everything free.
Listen to him.
How outrageous.
Listen to him. He sounds like Michael Savage.
Yeah.
By the government. And he said, I'm not going to talk about whether your taxes go up because that's a Republican talking point. Don't your taxes have to?
As opposed to everything he's said up till this moment.
Right?
Oh, that's the Republican talking point? How about everything else you just said, Chris? Here we go.
Go up. If you get benefits for life, then right now you only get after you retire.
I think he's acknowledged as much, but
he has.
I think
he said it was a Republican talking point to ask the question.
Yeah.
He went after Jake Tapper to say, how much would this cost in more taxes? He attacked Jake Tapper for asking the question.
Yeah.
And so
that is a Republican talking point. First of all, it's funny the way he's doing this, right? He says, I'm not going to parrot a Republican talking point. Here's a question on that said Republican talking point. They're saying this Republican. Here's the Republican. Here it is. That's the way to explain Medicare for all, Chris, and he knows this, is that we have a system that covers everybody. No one's going to go bankrupt, and it's going to cost you less money. And you never have to worry about going bankrupt, and you never have to worry about getting covered. You never have to worry about getting health care. And it saves us trillions of dollars. That's what he should be saying.
Yeah. Instead, the only thing he's pushing Beto O'Rourke on is defending his network.
Yeah.
He was mean to Jake Tapper.
Yeah.
Say sorry to Jake Tapper. Mm-hmm. Jake's feelings are hurt.
The Americans don't care about health care. They care about Jake Tapper's feelings now. There's better be an apology.
I am worried about Jake Tapper. Things are rough for Fredo. We're worried about Jake.
Okay, here we go.
Warren, we'll get to Warren later here.
Yeah, we'll get to Warren later. I got some ridiculous questions for her, too. Here we go. Here we are. We have a journalist who's supposed to be on a progressive network pushing right-wing talking points to a conservative Democrat.
Yep.
This is amazing. Yeah.
What I think you also heard on the stage was a false choice. You had.
Oh my God.
Okay, so we'll just. My guess is he wants to scare everybody so bad that he's not the only one with the white hair in the room. You know what I mean?
I also read a headline. I don't know if you caught it, but Beto O'Rourke is relaunching his campaign.
Yeah. I mean, they can just replay that headline every couple months because he stops and then he starts again. And he's like,
what?
Yeah, he's relaunching his campaign now, Beto O'Rourke. Because he'll stop it because he's like going nowhere and then he'll start it again.
It's
and
a relaunch.
He'll forget that he has the same problem every single time. You know what that problem is? He's Beto O'Rourke.
He comes off as
I'm sorry, Robert Francis O'Rourke.
Yes.
I think he comes off phony. I just want to tell Chris Matthews, it does make more sense to have GoFundMe page for cancer treatments than to have a real discussion about Medicare for all, which is how we handle it now, Chris. Here's what he said to Elizabeth Warren. You ready for this? Watch. Here we go. Same shit. Here we go.
Medicare for all is cheaper than our current system. That's the Republican.
I know the argument that you put it all together, you reduce the cost for health care premiums, and you get more benefits, and therefore you come out ahead. But what?
Yeah, I mean, I understand the argument involves math, but can I just keep saying something that's kind of not really accurate?
You pay more in taxes.
Look,
Why don't you want to answer that question? Because Jake said tonight.
Is this his Fox News audition reel? No shit.
Yeah.
But you're going to pay more taxes. Just say that. I want everybody to just keep saying more taxes. I want to scare the shit out of everybody because I want to frame Medicare for all in an incorrect way, in the scariest way possible that only gives half the information to someone so we can confuse them on the issue and keep the status quo, which is where people die and 30 million Americans don't have health care.
I just want you to say yes to my deliberately misleading question so I get a soundbite and I get my paycheck and I go home. Jake Tapper sad.
Why won't you answer? Here we go.
It's a Republican talking point. It's not a Republican talking
because
point.
This is it's a question about where people are going to come out economically. Look,
that's my question.
Why won't you answer my question that creates a false equivalency? Why won't you answer that question?
My question is how much will taxes go up?
I spent most of my life studying families that went broke, and a huge chunk of them went broke because of high medical bills, and many of them had health insurance. So the question is not, do you have health insurance or not have health insurance? The question is, how much are you going to have to dig in your pocket to pay?
I know that's the answer that you'd like to give, but
What is it? That's the answer you like to get. That's the answer, Chris. Because I know you like to give half an answer, which is what your donors want. I mean, donors, advertisers, Pfizer. I know you like to give half the question and half the information, which is your taxes are going to go up. Not also that it's actually going to cost you less money because now you don't have to pay premiums or co-pays. And your boss doesn't have to, instead of paying you in health insurance, he can actually pay you in money.
But Fox is the hate propaganda machine.
Right? But Elizabeth Warren won't go on Fox. Elizabeth Warren says Fox is there to divide you. Fox is there to make money off hate. This is a guy there to make money off people dying and suffering and physical sickness because he's pushing this line and he knows better. And if he doesn't know better, then they should fucking get him off that show.
There was a sad headline this past week that it stated how a couple committed suicide because they looked at their medical bills and the lack of access to medication that they needed, and they killed themselves.
Yeah. And Chris would say, that's what's crazy. You just want to give him free everything? That's what he would say.
So it's never an investment in the Americans as a people. It's never an investment in ourselves. It's always an investment in destruction. He's never going to hold any politician accountable for the wars.
Did they ever push back on George Bush like this on the war?
No, he
or
likes
Barack Obama on his bombing, 26,000 bombs right on a bomb. Did he ever do that on anybody? No. But if you want to give somebody health care, this is what he's going to do. This is MSNBC.
CNN.
No, this is Chris Matthews.
Oh, yeah, Chris Matthews. Sorry, I saw the CNN thing in the background. Got thrown off for a second.
Yeah.
Chris Matthews. CNN, MSNBC.
This is who MSNBC is. Can you imagine getting an opportunity to go on their network and not bring this up? Can you imagine getting an opportunity to go on MSNBC and not bring up that what's the difference between them and Fox News when they talk about Medicare for all? Can you imagine what it's like? Can you imagine having the opportunity to go on MSNBC and not bring up that they fire anybody who tells the truth about war? Or that they fired Ed Schultz just for covering Bernie Sanders? Imagine what a tool you are. You get a chance to go on MSNBC and you don't take that opportunity to say that. Which is why I'll never be on MSNBC.
You don't want an MSNBC contract.
Oh, come on. That's how you know you're a real deal.
Right?
Yes.
When you have an MSNBC contract.
That's when you have, I want to have credibility like Chris Matthews and Rachel Maddow. That's why I would want an MS. Everybody.
And Chris Hayes.
Why else? Come on. I want an MSNBC contract so I can actually tell the truth.
You want an MSNBC contract too, right?
If I ever got an opportunity, I would pull a Harvey P car and I'd wear an MSNBC is owned by Comcast T-shirt.
Okay.
And I would just have that there, and hopefully they'd still let me on. They might not, but I'd wear like a coat over it, and then like
the reveal.
Yeah,
the reveal.
I'd have the reveal.
Look at this.
Like when they'd be like, yeah.
You'd have to put a shirt over it because they'd mic you and they'd see it when they're micing you.
Right. Oh, You'd
have to do like this, and then you'd have to just like as you're sitting there waiting, and you go, and now we go to funny man Ron Placone.
Yeah, and then it's just like, boom. First of all, here's one of the many problems. Now we're gonna unpack this.
Let's see if there's more to this. I don't even know if there is.
Taxes go up. The question is your total cost.
Okay, but there's no answer.
There's no answer that's
There's
going to
no answer,
satisfy
guys.
me because I've already made up the answer.
These fucking liberals with their Medicare, they won't answer the questions. So there's your piece of shit newsman pushing half a truth, misframing an issue on purpose in order to keep the status quo, which is fucking literally killing people. And that's why Chris Matthews is a piece of shit, and that's why MSNBC is an evil organization. And all those people who work for them are cogs in an evil wheel of misinformation to keep you sick, poor, and us in endless war. That's what they are. And I don't ever want to be in that fucking club. I don't want to be in a club that lets that guy in. Do you, Ron?
Yeah, well, it's another one. This also hits that big theme on when you're talking about cable news, too, because, like, with Fox News, it's like, well, that's kind of, like, Republican talking points. That's what their brand is.
Right.
This guy repeats Republican talking points, and then he stops himself at one of them, and he's like, well, that's a Republican talking point, so I'm not going to say that. As if all these other things were not.
It just goes to show you that there is no difference.
Yeah. Cable. They all do the same thing.
They're out there because they
all
serve
the
the
cable
same
networks do
people.
the same thing. Yeah.
They're all funded by the same people. They all serve the same people. I mean, Chomsky taught us this a long time ago.
Yep.
And all these people in journalism, they all walk around. They act like they haven't read that fucking book, or like they're not even aware of it. Yeah. They act like they're not even aware of it. They act like I'm doing good work all the time. Like they don't go, I think I am, but I know better that I'm fucking I'm a cog in an evil wheel. I know I self-censor. I know I've been pre-selected. I know because I'm a conformist, I have this job, which is why I get to sit in on editorial meetings. Because I'm a conformist. Because if I was a guy who rocked the boat, I wouldn't be in this goddamn editorial meeting. I wouldn't work for this fucking establishment news organization. If I was a boat rocker, you know why? Because the big establishment media is the boat. That's why they're not going to hire someone who rocks the boat. They're the fucking boat. And if you get hired by MSNBC or CNN, or the Washington Post, you're not a boat rocker. That's my new term.
But you do get invited on a lot of yachts.
But ironically.
There you go.
You know why? Because you're not going to rock that yacht. Our next live Jimmy Dore show is August 24th in Denver, Colorado. Then we're going to San Francisco, Seattle, Baltimore, and Honolulu for Christmas. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all tickets. And if you'd like to support the show, that's how we do this. Become a premium member or a patron. We give you hours of bonus material every week. Thanks for your support.